Hello everybody, I am here today to, I guess, document my haul that I've gotten from my Forgeworld package. And so this was one of my birthday gifts today. It's my first package from Forgeworld, so I was really excited. I've wanted to get Forgeworld models for a while, and I've really held off because one, I was afraid I was going to mess them up even if I did get them, because the quality of them, and two, price and just everything. So it's been one of those things that I've just liked to dream about getting some cool Forgeworld models, but never really gotten them. So I took the opportunity to essentially get a couple of things since I was having it shipped over from the UK. I did get this Imperial Armor Model Masterclass book. I really wanted the Horus Heresy books. I don't remember them, but I know there's book 1 and book 2, and I really like those. I'd like to get some models for those at one point and use them, in which case I'd want those books. But going down that road and getting those models to play, Horus Heresy models at this point for my Knights of Griffin, I'm not there yet. And so I didn't see any reason to get the books, and the books are quite pricey. They look beautiful. I'm not saying that they're not worth every penny, but they're pretty pricey. But I saw this model masterclass, and I thought, you know what, this might be really a neat thing to get. And essentially, I only looked through the first model. The quality of the book is really quite nice, but I'll tell you, I really liked what I've seen. Like I just glanced through how it shows just different techniques on the model, and really there are a lot of stuff that I've seen variations of before on YouTube, like people doing these techniques and teaching them, but there were twists on them, like in things I'd never seen on some of them. And so there were different ways of even doing things that I was semi-familiar with, and some things that I'd never seen before. And so, to be quite honest, I'm really happy with getting this reference. I actually thought it's a really nice book to have, and I'm not going to hesitate at actually getting the second one. The next time I order something from Forgeworld, I'm going to get this Model Masterclass Volume 2, because even only having read just the first bit, I can tell I'm going to like it. And so yeah, this was good. For anybody that's considering maybe thinking about it, I highly recommend it. So these aren't really unboxings, as I did open them. And so this is the Nurgle Chaos Space Marine Sorcerer. So I've already jumped a little bit ahead, but what I wanted to say is I got 3 models, and I got sort of models that go in the theme of past, present, and future. I don't think too much into that, but it's just sort of, I got 3 models from 3 different genres, and so considering I just said this stuff's expensive, you'd think I'd concentrated all on my Knights of Griffins or my Eldar or whatever. It's not what I did. This is what I would call the future model. I don't know, pardon me, I don't know that when or to what extent I'm going to do a Chaos Army someday, but I really, really liked this model the first time I saw it. I love the detail in it. I just love, the wrought on this guy. The paint job that they have on this guy on the website is really awesome, but he just looks like such a cool sorcerer. That's the detail for the figure, but he comes with this really awesome looking bladed pole arm, and just overall I just really, this is his banner up here. Really, really cool in my mind, and I'm not sure if I showed it really well, but one thing I really liked was the shoulder there, like the rod in there is just really, really cool. And at first when I saw the model, I was a little turned off that they actually had Nurglings on them. They're kind of like comic relief, but there's one there, one right on the bottom, I believe, right there. But actually it's kind of grown on me a bit. I think it's kind of cool. That's part of the genre, you know. There he is, right there on his shoulder. But even looking at the guy there, I always thought it was a cool model. So I don't know whether I'll end up doing like a 500-point force or what one day. Maybe it'll be 40K 7th or 8th edition, who knows. But I wanted to paint this guy, and if I end up doing Chaos Army, I know it's going to be like a Nurgle army, and so there we go. I bought it. I just wanted to do it ever since I've seen it. Ever since I've been surfing that site. So that's potential future, among many other things in the future. Not to be taken too seriously. As well with everything else. Maybe the present one is, which I'll do next, of past, present, future, is the only one that I would take real seriously. For the present, I got this big bag. You might think, ooh, what's this big kit? It's really not that big a kit. It just comes in a really big bag. It's a lot of stuff, plastic, but it is the Mark 1C Damos Pattern Rhino. I'm really happy with this purchase. It comes with like a regular Rhino sprue, and then you've got your extra stuff. And I don't remember the exact price, but I remember that it seemed like a very good value Forgeworld model. Like it seemed like, you are getting, with any sort of Forgeworld kit where it's based off a regular sprue, it is more of like an add-on, and so it's not complete custom tank, which those do go up in price. But this is just real cool. Trying to see if I've got a picture. So I've got a picture right there if you guys haven't seen it. That's the variation here. You've got this different kind of hatch, different kinds of vents. You've got this sort of grill in the front. You've got the 2 single bolters, I believe, and that's something maybe somebody can type in there. I've been wondering, like normally it's got a storm bolter on the Rhino, but this looks like it's got 2 single bolters. I don't know whether there's different rules in Forgeworld for that or what people do. I know I'm not the only one that's got this. I know plenty of other people have gotten this. But what do you do when you actually field this? Do you just treat it as a storm bolter, or do you just treat it as 2 bolters? Just curious what you guys say. But we've got differences on the front here, but it's a really cool addition. And so, as you know, I have a Rhino to paint. Now I've got 2. I will do the regular Rhino first on the channel, and then this one will come next. But I'm quite excited to do this. I thought it was a good one for the Knights of Griffin, so I'll have for the, I should reiterate, for my Knights of Griffin, I will have both a regular Rhino, standard, and then a pre-heresy. That is to go along with that theme that I've been saying, that these guys have been, their spacefaring fleet world has been destroyed, that they were on. They're working with a mixture of technology at both pre-heresy and current, and that fits the storyline of how I'm doing the fluff for my army, but then also it's really cool from a modeling perspective, because now I get to paint all kinds of different stuff, which that's my goal. That's what I wanted to do. So last one is past. Now I say that lightly because my last model here, sorry, I was just closing this bag. My last model here is the Avatar of Cain, and I actually got the one with the spear. And so, Edic Beer, I got the same one that you did. I really like the way you painted your model. I've always liked the spear. It seemed as if I've always seen more of the sword wielding variant. This is not past, and that I'm not done playing or painting Eldar, but this is the army I started with and the one I've done in the past, and so that's why they're past. Couple of disappointing things. I love the model. If I just looked at the model itself, the detail is just incredible. It's such a great model. But for those of you that are familiar with it, you'll notice this part got snapped off in delivery. And then as well, part of the spear shaft, that's not the metal piece, but and not the blade, but just part of the spear shaft had gotten damaged as well. And so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to call Forgeworld and get them to send me replacements, which I hear from everyone, and from what I've seen on the website, they're fabulous in their service. they're open on Saturday. Like, I'm calling them here at 8 in the morning, which will be like 3:30 there. But I'm, you know, and then they just want you to give the barcode number and, you know, the part number, and then they supposedly will take care of it. And so excited, you know, I'm excited to paint this guy. It's a really nice looking model. I've got the head here. Really awesome looking. So he's going to be a great addition to the army. Because I've never played the Avatar before. I've resisted getting the old model. I never really wanted it. And I've always waited for this moment to get this guy. I'm not in a rush. For those of you that saw my video yesterday, you know I've got a lot of stuff to paint. So I'm completely good with wait until the Forgeworld sends my replacement pieces out. Just curious. It's not that I want to resell this after I paint it, or even I'm thinking about that one day, but I always like to, you know, I often like to do things a little bit differently, and I was thinking about how I'm going to do this Avatar. And in some ways, from a fluff perspective, you know, he's supposed to be basically, you know, molten iron, fire, you know, lava coming out of him, and that's why he's done in the black with this sort of volcano lava and fire and stuff pouring out of him. And I like that look, and I'm happy to do that, and I'm happy to have that as the I'll use Codex for no better word, sort of version of him. But I was kind of wondering, since I'm doing Bilton, whether doing some kind of different variation where it's sort of like white and green, sort of like green and white and yellow. So basically in the same way that you have your orange and red and yellow and white, you know, in your standard kind of fire gradation. Doing a similar thing, but having green as the base, you know, instead of the red, having yellow the same as yellow, and then white the same as white, but having that green to yellow blend in a variation of the green, instead of an orange red or a red orange yellow, doing like a dark green or another variation of green, and then like a yellow and then to a white, and having it sort of like a really bright green in contrast to like maybe black, to make it sort of a Bilton-esque. Has anybody ever seen anybody do that before? I've never seen it. You know, I've seen different kinds of avatars and painted all different colors, but I've never seen this model and like where the grooves are painted that way, like, you know, just sort of done differently. It's usually the standard way. And so what are people's thoughts on that? Don't just, you know, people are really supportive. I love my subscribers. I get such good feedback. But please tell me if you think it'll look dumb, you know, like, or if it shouldn't be done. You know, I'm just kind of interested in what people's thoughts are. Because I'm debating. I think it's a challenge to paint it the normal way. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I think that doing the standard painting of the fire is difficult, and I'm up for it to try it. This is equally, I think, although I have less of a rule book to go by to look at other people's. So just curious. So that is about it. Thanks for watching, everybody, but this is my latest loot haul of stuff. And so other than that one little glitch with the avatar having a couple pieces broken, I'm quite happy. So thanks for watching, everybody, and hope you all have a good weekend. Take care.